back. I wanted to take a few moments at the end of the program today to again say thank you so very much for your continued prayers and support of this unique media ministry. As you know, during the month of April, we ask you in a fun way to become a farmer with us, so to speak, plant seeds and the seeds of the gospel through the various means and the platforms that we have through the Dove radio, television, and all the digital platforms we have out there, including the Word for You Today devotional. And your response has just been amazing. The first quarter of this year, quite frankly, like a lot of ministries, was a tough one. January, February, March, we were off significantly in our budget, down 32%. And I have a lot to think that, can't help but think, I should say, that this is just the general anxiety of the culture. I talked to other ministry leaders. They were off as well. Some churches were off as well. High gas prices, all that. Sooner or later, the cumulative effect of that impacts us all. And we were way off, and we hadn't experienced something like that in a long time, so we asked for your help, and many of you responded, and I just want to say thank you so much. And again, reminding you that about 84% of the Dove's revenue is from viewers and listeners just like you. The old saying is, we wouldn't be here if you weren't there. But it's also part of our thinking that the Dove is not here to replace your church, and we're not here to preempt any other activity that the Lord has you involved in. That supporting the Dove has to be totally God-led and something that the Lord just clearly makes you to support us. And without that, you know, we're not asking you to do anything other than what the Lord's telling you to do. Don't take from your church. We're not here to replace your church. We're here to come alongside your church and to help you and people who attend church on a regular basis, to remind you that 24 hours a day that what your pastor and your church is trying to help you with, we're here as a 24-hour reminder of that. And we hear from a lot of people that for various reasons they can't go to church anymore. There's a lot of dynamics out there, from family dynamics where some in the family believe and some don't, and they just can't go, and their only connection to that, anything that would be spiritual, would be through the Dove. And then I have to tell you that in the anxiety of the culture in the world, people investigating faith these days is at an all-time high. And the Lord has used the Dove in many ways. In fact, other television owners are putting the Dove's programming on their station, and such is the case of 3 stations this past year, even down through the Central Valley of California, which we are really grateful for. So there's a hunger, there's a need, and the culture is producing this searching for truth, the searching for reality. Is there a God? Is Jesus real? Is heaven real? Where am I going to spend eternity? What's happening to the world? Are these the last days? I mean, all these questions are being asked by a lot of people. And media is one of those items that people can use privately, whether it's on your phone, you know, you'd be listening, watching on your phone, or in your car, or at home. You can tune into the Dove using any of those platforms and be ministered to. And thousands of people every hour of the day are doing that. So when you became a farmer, or you become a farmer with the Dove, you're helping us plant those seeds. And you got to remember, just all ministry really, it either plants the seeds and water the seeds, but God is in control of the harvest. And we hear from people that have been watching for a long time, and all of a sudden something clicks, and they accept the Lord, literally by watching or listening to the Dove. And we get those letters, we get those emails, we get those phone calls. And so your support has made that happen. The opportunities in front of the Dove are just amazing. Quite frankly, really amazing. So the evangelistic side of me says, let's go for it. The business side of me says, well, hold on, we can't do everything we want to do. So that struggle's there. But I have to tell you that media is an amazing tool to reach people where they're at. And when you support the Dove, you're part of that team. And we don't take your support for granted, or we don't take it lightly. We just want to say thank you for being a part of what we're doing here. I wish I should have come into the studio today with all the figures. I don't have it. I was so busy yesterday, I didn't have time to gather them up. But I do know that it looks like we're out of the slump. We've come up to where we should be in our budget. And I'm grateful for that. And we move forward, especially with this year and all the things that are ahead of us. We'll look at future opportunities as the Lord leads us to do that, while at the same time we try to maintain what we have going here. The Dove is heard on about 14 different radio outlets, seen on about 25 different television outfits, multiple cable channels. Some areas now we're actually on satellite. We're not in our own backyard, but we're working on that one. So the Lord is using the Dove's programming literally all over the place. And of course, when you add to that Apple TV or Roku or streaming, we're literally seen and heard around the world, and people are responding. So I just want to say thank you for praying for and supporting the Dove. If you've never done it, prayerfully consider it. You can go online anytime at theDove.us, and that is our website. By the way, that's going to change here in about a week. We've been working on that, and you'll see a new website in about a week. And or you can call us anytime at 541-776-5368, and there's someone to take your call. If it's busy, just call back. But again, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for helping us get back on track. It's a big thing keeping all this going. It's not easy, and we came through a major, I guess you could call it a remodel, or certainly a reorganization within the walls of our own operation here, flipping the building, so to speak, putting the studio at the other end and the staff at the other end so that make it more efficient. And thank you for that. It's just been a big deal. But folks, let me say this. People are hurting. People are hurting. People are seeking. People are asking really some basic questions. And media is a tool to reach them. And God is using that. But when you hear people say, is God real? Does God really love me? Is heaven real? Are these the end times? You know, they know enough about Scripture to ask these kind of questions. And so we try to provide excellent programming that people can rely upon. We know that it's theologically safe and pure, and they're being ministered to. And you are a partner in making that happen. So thank you so much. If you haven't supported the Dove, prayerfully consider it. Call us anytime at 541-776-5368 or online at theDove.us. But from all of us here at the Dove, thank you. Thank you for believing in, praying for, and supporting the mission of the Dove.